What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Just quick intro here on this one. This video is just going to be kind of a conglomerate of footage of various different things over a span of time. Some of this footage, the stuff in the mountains, was actually shot before the Utah trip. It was kind of the last trip up into the mountains for the year because, you know, temperatures are getting pretty low at night this time of year, and obviously snow and just conditions you don't want to get stuck out in, so it's not worth the risk. And then some more recent footage playing in some canyons and other areas like that. And I won't get quite as, artistic with this one and put music to it and all that so much. I think we'll just cut straight to it, show some cool spots. I'll do some voiceovers and just kind of show you some of the neat things that you find when you're out there exploring, which is definitely one of the things I enjoy, about doing this kind of flying. And in a way, I guess this video, that'll kind of set the stage for an upcoming project, which will be, diving in a little deeper to the decision-making process that goes on when, doing these off-airport landings. So anyway, that's enough talking. We'll go ahead and just get right into it. So this was a fun area that I found a while back, that last day up in the mountains. There's a whole bunch of BLM land in this area I'd never seen before, so it was kind of a big playground. Or at least that's kind of how it looks probably on video. It's pretty high altitude, and upon closer look, there was definitely little, groups of rocks, little outcroppings of rocks here and there in the grass. And, we'll get more into that in that upcoming video on how to, try to spot that stuff and to look out for it, because it can be really hard to see. It probably doesn't really show up in the video. But anyway, searched around for a while, found a kind of a short spot. I was able to land and just kind of stretch my legs, change camera batteries and that sort of thing and move on. But definitely a cool area. I'll come back over there sometime and play around a little more. Looks like I'm weaving all over like I've had too much to drink here, but it's actually because it's steeper than it looks down this little hill, and I couldn't actually see my line that I'd picked out, to avoid the rocks and stuff. So I was trying to figure out where I was headed, but it all worked out. Didn't hit anything. So we're back out of the mountains in this section, avoiding the cold and the snow. And there's a surprising amount of really cool canyons around. This one's got a totally beautiful spot here by the river. And I had to make a few passes on this one to find a good spot to land. Grass was pretty tall, and there were some lumps and bumps I was trying to avoid. So kind of had to get that line figured out, but really cool spot. I never know what you're going to find when you go out looking. And half the time when I pick out spots on Google Earth and go to check them out, it's a bust. And then randomly I just find spots that are way better. So I managed to find a spot that's still actually kind of green, which is surprising. But not just that, it's a very, very beautiful spot right here by this rock with this really bright green moss or whatever it is on there in this canyon. So that's fantastic. Didn't know this existed. Super cool place. So this next spot was pretty cool, down in this big canyon and flying along, enjoying it. And I come across this spot where there's kind of a neat rock formation, big, tall rock formation. And I thought, oh, that'd be cool to land there and get a picture with that in the background. And as I'm kind of scoping it out, I see what looks like an old structure from way back, and that kind of sealed the deal. I was like, okay, I got to try to land here and check this stuff out, because I love flying. Obviously, flying is the main goal, and landing in new places that nobody else has landed is really exciting, really fun. But when you can kind of combine it with also getting outdoors, enjoying nature, doing all those things, I really enjoy all that. And seeing some old abandoned structure from the past and wondering man, who built that, and how long ago was that, and it just it's kind of fascinating stuff. So it's always neat to find something interesting while you're out there. This was a pretty tight spot. These bushes that were all around where I landed were no joke. They were not the kind of bushes you want to run over. So essentially, I had to land and then move it around by hand, and it was a tight squeeze to get in and out of there. That's another old structure from way back when. That's pretty neat stuff. Always something cool to find down here. Never seen this before. Man, I wonder when this was still a thing. It's been a long time. Pretty amazing. So these ridges are all BLM land, and it's kind of a neat area. Pretty backdrop there with the Sangre de Cristos. I couldn't land on a lot of the spots due to the winds were pretty high, but it did allow to land on this pretty short spot that normally would just not be doable, up that high without that wind helping you. So I love this area over here, kind of near Blue Mesa. There is a bunch of these big plateaus, and several of them are BLM land, so it's an awesome playground. Very high altitude, but I actually found a new one on this day, and it was surprisingly smooth and quite a bit less rocky than some of the other ones. So I started out landing there. Decided to push on a little further after the other spot was super windy, and thought, I'll go over and hit a spot I haven't hit with this plane. It's a big old, huge plateau at like 9,400 overlooking Blue Mesa, and so on my way there, I got real close, and I spotted another one of these big old plateaus. Decided to check it out, and It's really nice. Like right here at the edge, I taxied back up to the edge. It's a little rocky here, but up there where I landed, I mean, it's got some small rocks, but it's very smooth. Like for an off-airport spot on top of a mountain, it's about as good as it's gonna get. All right, I'm gonna pack up, probably go over there and hit the other spot. We'll see what we can do. It's challenging to get some of these shots that you'd like to get when you're out there by yourself, but I took the drone up and just parked it up there in the sky looking back at this big plateau, and I could actually see it from the ground, so I was able to keep my eye on it and keep my distance, and yeah, it turned out pretty good. That's a fun perspective. Oh, found a pretty good sandbar on the Arkansas here, and most of them aren't very big in this area. I've landed on one really short one right under some power lines, but found this spot. There's some sticks and debris, but it's not super soft. It's pretty dry, but pretty firm, and definitely big. So really cool spot, kind of in a bend in the river here.
right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Patreons, thank you very much for keeping this channel going. If you guys want to join that, put a link up there and a link in the description. I can use all the help I can get to keep this thing going. And yep, until next time, take care, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. So, big prop and bigger prop.